Hello everyone, watch this review here with a look at the DC Universe Classics, Copperhead. Although at first glance he might seem like an obscure character, he's, I guess, not that obscure by obscure standards, just because he has had, I believe, quite a few appearances in the cartoons and other media. Especially, I think, in the Justice League series where he had 3 or 4 different appearances. And speaking roles, so yeah, good for him. Now, the character was originally a contortionist with a super suit, which I guess made him more resistant to stuff, in addition to making him slippery and all that fun stuff. But he also had like these fang things, which had poisons in them. Again, part of the suit. As part of a deal with Necron, he did get more powers and stuff, and became like a snake hybrid. That's the version with the tail. This version, which I believe was the version seen in the cartoon. I don't really remember all that clearly. But he does not have a tail in that version, so yeah. Honestly, probably one of my favorite figures from the wave. Hold on a second and we'll get him out of pack. One of the things I didn't touch upon in my opening preamble is that he actually is a Batman rogue, or at least started as one. I'm not sure what his current status is. A fact which is reflected in his pin here. You can see his claws and then Batman. And also a mirror. I'm not exactly sure what the deal with that is, but I also ended up buying a copy of him loose back when I thought I wasn't going to be picking up the wave. Which again is kind of cool because I do like the look and everything about the character. It comes with the head of Darkseid as well as the groin. Again, never really sure why they separate them like this, but I guess it's just so they don't look as cheap, or they're just tossing a head in with one. I don't know, they should basically just be doing 5 figures for a Collect and Connect instead of 6 figures, but they have to make some excuse to do this. I mean, Copperhead is a figure that probably would sell okay on his own, even without the existence of a Collect and Connect. I mean, he's got really neat character design to him, even if figure-wise it's not anything really special. It's basically just a standard body with scales tossed all over it and stuff like that. And a specially built-up neck area with a cool head, but you know, it's just a really neat looking character. By the way, he is basically the standard height at around 6.5 inches. As for the figure itself, just to quickly go a little bit more in depth here, you'll notice that he has this whole glossy finish for the painted portions for any place with scales, basically. The actual crest here is just flat paint, and then the hot pants and gloves, because a guy in a snake suit needs hot pants and gloves, and also boots that don't match the rest of the costume for whatever reason. It's villain style. I mean, you don't have to question it. Aren't glossy at all. It's just flat paint again for the green, the orange here. It's kind of an interesting choice. I'm not sure why they would opt for that, rather than just going flat across the body. I mean, it does definitely work for the head portion here, because it really makes the head pop a little bit more. But for the rest, it kind of looks a little bit flaky. Wish they would have done more of a paint work on the eyes here just to give them a nicer effect, but you'll notice that there are several hues in the head here. The actual neck portion is built up a little bit more. There's an extra plastic piece which they pretty blatantly just attached here with the crest. I mean, it's an interesting concept when they just do little tack-ons instead of doing a full-on resculpt or something. You know, I guess it does kind of work. And, you know, it cuts corners and everything. In terms of articulation, we have a rotating wrist, single joint elbow, all just really standard stuff, rotating bicep, ball jointed shoulder, head rotates only, and because he's a snake, he can go 360 degrees around. You know, snakes, of course, don't actually do that. The ab/diaphragm joint, waist joint, and of course all figures basically in this line go 360. Leg forward out, thigh swivel, single joint knee, single joint ankle. So as mentioned, it's just basically the standard mold, or one of the standard molds, and they just toss some scale texturing on portions of it, or at least as far as I can see. But again, just because the character design is really neat, I suspect that a lot of people probably would pick this up, and somebody even mentioned using it for like customs for shoot, what character was that? I don't even know, but there are millions of like snake-like characters out there for various shows, so it could be for any one of them. But yeah, I'm definitely a character I like the look of, even if in some regards he is sort of boring. But yeah, this has been a look at Copperhead. Until next time, folks.